What's going on, folks? It's another episode of Two Drink Minimum. I know it's been a long time since I've recorded a video. Not much going on, just really busy with work. Got it all sorted out now. Gonna be working a lot, but still have enough couple days off here and there to actually start putting some proper videos together on a semi-regular basis. Anyway, despite my Captain America hoodie and my Spider-Man t-shirt, we're going to be talking DC today. Go figure. Where's the theory in that? I do have a Batman t-shirt somewhere. I think it's upstairs, but I don't feel like digging for it right now. So, let's get cracking. First off, we're going to be talking about the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition that came out on Blu-ray not too long ago. And I'll give you my thoughts on that. And we're also going to touch base on what I thought about Suicide Squad. I know some people and the critics are loving it, some aren't. It's a DC thing, I guess. They're always a polarizing kind of opinion of who liked it what and who didn't like what. But I'll give you my 2 cents worth on that, and then we'll talk some upcoming DVD releases and go from there. Kind of wing it. Anyway, first off, the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition. I did purchase it in 3D, although I haven't watched it in 3D yet, because they went and chinsed out, and the only 3D version of it is the goddamn theatrical version, which I fucking hated. But the Ultimate Edition did save the film a little bit. They did, as you know, tack on an extra half an hour's worth of stuff to the film, which some people will be like, oh my god, it was 2.5 something hours already. Another half an hour? Like overkill, but not really. Surprisingly enough, the extra 30 minutes did help to make more sense of the movie, especially with situations like Lex Luthor's plan of trying to put them against each other and everything else. The first main scene that they did extend was the opening sequence in Africa, where Lois gets captured and Superman comes through the ceiling and knocks that guy flying and everything. In the theatrical cut, it really didn't make a lot of sense. Like, there was that one scene where Clark was like, well, I didn't kill those people. But at that point, everyone was like, well, what are you talking about? Killed who? Like, you threw Buddy through the wall, which probably put him in traction for a good 6 or 7 years. But in the Ultimate Edition now, they actually show KG Beast, the Russian dude with a lot of tattoos over his arms and stuff, piles up a bunch of dead villagers and then blowtorches them to make it look like Superman heat visioned them all to death. So, in that aspect, it made a lot more sense with the whole thing with the Senate hearings and everything else going on, and then the fact that the black lady that they had interviewed saying, oh, they wiped out everyone in the village, she turned out to be some hired actress that Lex Luthor had planted there, and she got a good demise too in the Ultimate Edition. She's pushed in front of the subway train by a KG Beast. The other thing that they added onto with that was Scoot McNairy's character, the guy in the wheelchair that blows up. There was a lot more investigation-wise, like Lois doing reporter stuff, figuring out, like, you know, he didn't actually plan on dying because he had a fridge full of food, which, okay, but, you know, it made sense that he unwittingly went in there thinking, oh yeah, new wheelchair, just like Professor X kind of thing. Oops, sorry, Marvel DC crossover there. But then the fact that it was lined in lead, so Superman wouldn't have been able to look through the thing and see the bomb anyway. So it made a lot more sense of the whole thing with Holly Hunter's character trying to bring Superman to atone for his sins kind of thing in front of the whole world. Other stuff that they added was little bits and pieces here and there that kind of expanded in existing scenes. There was a lot more violence. Not to the point where I thought it should have been an R rating necessarily. I mean, it was intense, I guess, for little wee kids, you know, seeing Batman and Superman kicking the crap out of each other like they were might be a little bit disturbing, but, you know, from an adult standpoint, I think it still could have got away with a PG-13. There were certain things here and there, like the Batman fight at the end in the warehouse where he grapples that big, huge crate and then throws it at the guy, and now you see this smear of blood just streak down from his head as he hits the wall, which makes sense. I mean, he gets fucking clocked with that thing. There's no way he'd be getting up from that. And then the additional bit at the end when he beats down the guy and then goes back, I still don't quite figure this out. The dude he pins to the wall with a knife it looks like he like finishes him, like kills them, but it's kind of a little bit. Well, I guess it's up to interpretation, which is probably the way they wanted it, but he like lays into those guys bad, like snapping arms and everything else. Like it puts the nightmare scene at the beginning to shame. There were still some things with the Batman v Superman movie that bothered the hell out of me, i.e. Martha. That whole thing, like the minute it started with Thomas Wayne dying on the sidewalk, he goes, Martha. It's like almost like Citizen Kane with Rosebud. But, I mean, and then the way that the fight ended with, oh, you've got to save Martha. And Batman sitting there going, why are you saying that name? Why are you saying that name? And then Lois, again, like in Man of Steel, appearing out of nowhere, like just at the last second. Just like in the first movie when they crashed through into the train station. How the hell would she have known that from like where she was? And then she just shows up in time to see see Superman do the old and finish Zod. Wonder Woman was okay, a little underused. I still have an issue with the Justice League being revealed by video files on email. That's like, I mean, there should have been some way they could have shoehorned them in. But I mean, again, Justice League movie coming up in 2017-ish. That's going to bring them all together in one big fell swoop. So, overall, not bad. The extended edition does have some bonus material. A lot of it's very talking heads kind of stuff. The Batmobile documentary was good. It was clocked in around 20 minutes in runtime, so I was expecting a little more, like the commentary they did on Man of Steel, where it was just like people would pop up in the middle of the movie and like comment over the scene as it was running. That was a very neat thing that Warner usually does with their stuff. They did it on the Harry Potters, I remember. And like I said, they did do it on Man of Steel. There probably is another version coming out eventually. You know how these studios love to double dip their Blu-ray releases. Star Wars. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. 3D Collector's Edition coming out in November. Like, come on. Extra bonus material. More deleted scenes. Oh boy, let's plunk down another $40. But I'm looking forward to that one too. Seeing it in 3D will be fun. The audio commentary by J.J. Abrams will be interesting to hear. But this isn't about Star Wars. If you want to see my Star Wars review, look back on the last video from like 6 months ago, where I did a lengthy review of Force Awakens. Yeah, so that's that for Ultimate Edition Batman v Superman. If you haven't picked it up yet on Blu-ray or digital download, I recommend it. The theatrical version is a piece of crap, in my opinion, compared to the Ultimate. The extra half hour really doesn't feel like there's an extra half an hour to it. The pacing is very good. They keep your interest, especially with like Clark going to Gotham and investigating the bats. That was all sorts of stuff that wasn't in there initially, which made sense with the scenes in the theatrical cut where Perry White, Lawrence Fishburne's always coming in going, where's Kent? Isn't he reporting on that football game? And he's off in Gotham meanwhile looking into what's going on with Batman. So definitely the Ultimate Edition is worth picking up. I would give it a solid 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. Like I said, there are still issues, Martha, and other things going wrong with the movie that weren't fixed with the Ultimate Edition, but, you know, I'll let it slide, I guess, because I like Batman. Yeah, so that's that. Suicide Squad. Wow. Mixed feelings on this one. Again, it felt like the editing was just all over the place. There felt like there were whole chunks of the movie just left out. Which apparently there were. Jared Leto's been very vocal about his displeasure with the amount of stuff that he shot as Joker. That they kind of like were like this. I guess they were like it's too much for a PG-13 movie. This will freak the kids out too much. So I'm expecting there to be again an Ultimate Edition Suicide Squad. Probably not on the first release. They'll probably just do deleted scenes and stuff like that, and then they'll pump out like another one Ultimate Edition with extended cuts of everything in 7 or 8 months after that. I think the original version for DVD is coming out in December if things go according to plan. But again, love-hate relationship with the movie. Some of the characters were really, really good. Like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn knocked it out of the park. Will Smith, surprisingly, he usually phones in his performances, but as Deadshot, he was really good. They had the nice little cameos by Batman and the Flash popping up throughout the movie. And, you know, overall, Amanda Waller, Viola Davis, incredible. Like, oh my god, uber bitch. Amanda Waller, loved it. Joel Kinnaman, even after his not so great performance in RoboCop, he was really good as Rick Flag. Enchantress, I don't know. Cara Delevingne's not really an actress, so you can't really give her too much of a hard time. I mean, it's all eyebrows anyway with her. Incubus, the brother of Enchantress that they threw in there, just a podgy CGI monster that they all got to fight at the end. Why Enchantress decided to go hand to hand with them in the final battle didn't make much sense either. Pacing issues all over the place. Jared Leto really wasn't in the movie that much, so if you're going thinking, all right, Joker movie, he's literally in it for maybe 15 or 20 minutes. There's actually a guy in England, I believe, is trying to sue Warner Brothers because he drove 300 miles to London to see Jared Leto as Joker in the Suicide Squad, and he feels he got ripped off because there were all these scenes in the trailer that they never showed in the movie. Well, welcome to Hollywood. There's lots of movies where they show tons of stuff in the trailer that never shows up in the movie. Get used to it. If you want your $15 back, try a GoFundMe account or something. We'll all pitch in a quarter. But, you know, like I said, polarizing opposite reactions to the movie overall. Hoping they fix it with an extended cut, which I think would really be good. Why that movie was PG-13 to begin with, I mean, I guess obviously box office, you got to be able to make it more accessible to the masses. Making it an R-rated film really doesn't, especially if it's a superhero movie, doesn't bring the families in like you would want for like the Civil War and all those kinds of movies where it's a family affair and all the kids like ages 0 up go in and sit down and munch their popcorn and drink their sodas and have a fun time. But definitely Suicide Squad is a movie that I could see getting an R-rated extended cut down the road. Probably on a second release, but we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised though. Justice League trailer also dropped recently. First good looks at Aquaman, Jason Momoa, who is a freaking beast. Good look at Flash, Ezra Miller. I'm still on the fence. I kind of wanted Grant Gustin to play Flash in the movie. I still want to see Stephen Amell play Green Arrow, but now they're talking maybe Matt Damon will play Green Arrow. Stranger things have been known to happen. But yeah, the Justice League trailer, pretty optimistic. It looks a lot lighter in tone than the previous DC fares have been. A lot more jokey to a degree. I mean, not sort of slapstick, that kind of thing, but a lot lighter tone. It'll be fun to see DC's version of the Avengers, basically, on the big screen. I've heard Steppenwolf's going to be the villain, not the band Steppenwolf, no. If you watch the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman, you actually see Steppenwolf show up in one brief scene with Lex Luthor, which adds to his craziness. Oh, another good scene I forgot about in the Ultimate Edition was the end, where Batman goes into the cell with Luthor and he's about to brand him with his bat brand. And then turns around and he's like, I'm getting you shipped off to Arkham Asylum. And the look on Luthor's face, like, oh shit. Like, I don't know why they cut that out. That was literally like a 15-second clip. Would have tied it all nicely together. But, the Batman v Superman movie will probably dovetail into a standalone Batman flick, which is Affleck's working on right now. No details on that. Might be the Joker. Might be the Court of Owls, I've heard. Might be the Red Hood. No one's quite sure, but Affleck's co-writing, I believe, and directing it, as well as starring in it. So, hopefully that's not going to be bad. Not sure of an exact release date for that yet, but it's in the pipeline coming up soon. The next big comic release, of course, is going to be Doctor Strange, I believe, in November, with Benedict Cumberbatch. Looks really good. The trailers for that have been phenomenal. I don't know, Scott Derrickson, who's a well-renowned director of horror films, so you're probably betting on it being creepy and weird and horrific, sort of psychedelic imagery. Looks a lot like Inception kind of stuff from the trailer with the planet tilting over and this wormhole just sucking in all the buildings. So, high hopes for that. Civil War comes out on Blu-ray, I think next week, first week of September, I believe. 3D release, regular release, collector's edition, steelbook, all the rest. Suicide Squad December, obviously. Force Awakens Collector's Edition on November 15th. It's going to be heavy amount of movies coming out, as always is the case in Q4. All the summer stuff will start coming out between September and December in time for Christmas. God knows how many copies of Finding Dory Disney's going to crank out. That's going to be terrifying. I'm not going to do a Finding Dory review. Don't worry. That's not what this channel's about. But, yeah. I'm going to cut it short there. My Madden 17 trial should be ready to start firing away on. And, yeah, so, like I said, I got a bit more free time now with just having the one job, not working 7 days a week like I've been doing for the past 7 or 8 weeks. So hopefully expect to see some more videos on a more regular basis. If you have any requests as to stuff you'd like to see on the channel, obviously comment below, subscribe, like, tell your friends, repost on Facebook, repost wherever. Yeah, I currently have 1 subscriber. And my first video has still yet to hit 100 views. So come on, people, help me out. Anyway, for now, before my dogs start going crazy and barking at that squirrel like they did in the last video, we will say peace for now. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned soon for the next episode of 2 Drink Minimum. Take care. Bye.